Bow wow. Welcome to DogStar. We are Sun Dogs.
And this is formerly Cam.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for coming in.
Man, for real, this is a super big opportunity for me, so I'm just pumped to be here, man. Like, this is our first time officially meeting, so
yeah,
they're just about to watch us kick it, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, we're learning as much as everybody else is learning here. So yeah, let's dive on into your origin story. I mean, obviously now you're a musical artist, but what can you remember your earliest memory of like music?
Yeah, just always being in the back of the car, you know what I mean?
What were the parents playing?
Like, I would say the timeline is 70s to obviously like 2000s. It was like R&B, funk, soul, hip hop, you know, the good stuff, man. Like, shout out to y'all. Y'all really got that good taste, man. Like,
nice.
It's cool to see that later, unpack that and be like, they're really putting you on to some gems and like essentially leading you to where you are right now, you know?
Whether you know it or not at the time.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah, besides having great taste in music, were they musical at all? Were they singers or in any bands?
I think a lot of people in my family always had that bug, but I don't think everyone pursued it, whether it wasn't like that patience that it takes to really like hone in on your craft, maybe just like not the resources, but diehard music fans. Like, it's the whole, like, I don't know anybody who doesn't clean their house on Sunday bumping their music, you know? It's like, that's the lifestyle I live, you know what I mean?
That's awesome. Yeah, so what...
I was going to ask, did you at least try to hone in on an instrument in school at all, in elementary school and middle school?
Yeah, because elementary school, they like make you play stuff. So we're getting into band class and I'm like, I like this. Like the drums are cool, piano's cool. And then you'll get lucky and a friend or family has a piano at the house. Or someone had a drum kit that they don't know how to set up, or a guitar with 3 missing strings. But for you, you're rocking out and you're really in that vibe. And so I'd get little, it's like hints of it, you know, little pieces, puzzle pieces. And it's like, the guitar's fun. Piano's fun too. Drums are fun. Singing's fun. I'm not the best at singing, so let's go back to the guitar. Let's stuff like that, you know.
Nice, yeah.
Are you proficient in guitar? Are you able to play a few chords? Or
the only thing I could say I like don't really play is like violin and trumpet. Like the more I was gonna say professional instruments, but
classical.
That's so disrespectful. I apologize. It's not what I mean at all. But just those are things that kind of get associated with elegance and even like older times. So I play guitar, piano, drums, produce. I'm a Renaissance man. Anything that I feel like I can do or try, I'm going to try it. I'm going to get there eventually.
And when did you kind of hit the apex of what melodies you hear in your mind, what rhythms you hear in your mind, your body can just translate them on the keys or on the strings or on the drum kit? When was that era? When did the era begin, at least?
Probably accurately around like 12, but I'm sure like
no, I feel
8 to 10 was like I was doing, I don't know, it's just like the smallest thing. Someone teaching you the knuckle song on the piano and on the black keys, and you do that, and like technically you can develop rhythm the more you do that, and you can develop speed and technique and hitting that as fast as you can. And now you're learning about octaves, and it's music is fascinating. Music is a language, and it's bigger than art. Like I can't even explain it, man.
Totally.
So yeah, 8 or 10 is when I had consciousness so I could focus in on it and get obsessed with it. And so that's all I wanted to do. Like, got a piano? You want to go to Guitar Center? You want to, you know what I mean?
Let's mess around on some instruments.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even just petting on your lap, even just, you know, there's a lot, music's everywhere. That's what I mean. It's so much deeper than just instruments. Like you can create, you get a couple people together. Come on now, we've seen it. That's how they did it before we got to instruments. That's how, come on now. Like, it's as old as time.
Yeah, that magic exists.
Yeah.
For real. What, I'm sure you've forgotten a lot of the songs that you've written, because if it started that young, but is there like earliest record, like do you have evidence of the earliest song? What's the earliest movie?
I want y'all to do it in the comments, man. Don't play on my name. Y'all know we was out here all the time with it. There was a lot of stuff I did back in the day. Like I did a remix to American Boy. You know what I mean? I did.
That wasn't your first.
Drop that comment. I know y'all freaking out right now. Like it's I'm trying to think of. Yeah, that was stuff I was doing in the beginning. I like dropped a remix to American Boy when I was trying to rap a little bit. I never did anything like uploading instrument stuff online, but like, and it's definitely like now's the time too, man. People are getting very creative and very inspiring with how they're utilizing content online right now. And it's like, it's opened up doors for everybody. Like right now, everyone should feel so inspired to like pursue something. Like anything you got in mind, people are doing it, making money, becoming... Fame isn't what you should be looking for, but they're getting the recognition they've been looking for through pursuing it with their content and stuff. So
finding communities of people who are interested in the same stuff, and that's important too. Yeah,
I was just saying earlier, like we're potentially in the most magical time of all time when you really look at what it's like a Pandora's box situation.
Yeah, a lot of access to a lot of cool stuff.
Real life.
So this American Boy remix, is this your first song? Is this gonna be your first song? Were you formerly Cam at the time?
Yeah, that was when I was Cam, and that was like my first effort of like, it was just observing music and then learning about there's an industry behind this and learning that there's a business behind this and there's things you have to do to be in the business and to be recognized by the business. So you need to be online and you need to have certain profiles on certain websites, and like, we didn't know that at the time, so we...
This wasn't when you're 8 years old or 12 years old.
No.
We're talking high school?
American Boy, I had to be like, maybe like 13, 14. Drop the comment, like, let them know, man. I think... Man, I'm trying to think if I ever like played something to someone, to like a little concert when I was a kid. I can't think of it, but like where I do know it started getting real was that 13, 14 era, and I learned about YouTube and I learned about SoundCloud, and I'm starting to hear from people how you can make songs and record songs and upload them. And so I start to experiment, and even a throwback to like school, like you would have time on the computer and you'll stumble, what is this guitar and this amp? Click on it, accidentally figure out how to do the musical typing, and now you're playing the piano a little bit. Like going back to those hints, like there's just all these super, super small instances that led me to learn about it, care about it, and then the steps to let people see like, hey, I'm doing it, I'm trying it. You know what I mean?
So when you're recording this American Boy remix, you're doing this on Audacity or on GarageBand as well? Or?
I'm doing this on Mixcraft at the time, Mixcraft 6. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up, you guys, man. I'm trying to make a beat pack. I'm not trying to forget y'all. I'm trying to bring y'all right back to me. You know what I mean? I'll never forget that. I'm in the middle of my living room in my apartment with Mixcraft. And even in the beginning, I like said to my mom, I was like, forgive the noise. And then I start spitting, and like, it's a beautiful memory for sure, for sure. That was like the start of me, who's right here right now. That's definitely the American Boy remix. That's where that came from.
That's so interesting. And was that like the first time you like put your mind to writing lyrics?
No, and that's that 8-10 thing, you know? That was like, there's little stuff I'm picking up on, so I can write songs down, I can write lyrics down, I can write down the name of this song, I can write down that I wrote this song, but now how do I go get a show? I'm 8 years old. How do I go sit 30 people in my family down? Let me play this song for you. How do I do that? I'm 8 years old, so.
Were there any teachers or...
High school, man. I had a music teacher who, because technically too, music wasn't supposed to be the journey. I'm an athlete, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not anymore, but I'll ball anybody up. Once we get to the all-star games, the celebrity games, I'm about to be in all those. Trust me, like that's my first love. But like
those 3-on-3 tournaments,
it was like when he gave me those affirmations that like I can see his passion. Like he would just be giving notes out in class, right? Like, you see his passion, you see how he's into it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm meant for this for sure. Like, this is an actual musician. This is an actual person who really went to school, has a degree for this. I'm an imposter athlete, but I got passion. So let me keep doing this. Like, let me try this out. And
that's huge.
And luckily, I didn't not fall in love with it and was like, dang, I wish I went and did the sports, you know?
Yeah. I mean, alternate universe, where do you think you'd be if you didn't?
Same thing here, but sports. You know what I mean? I would be, this is the after the game conference right now. You know what I mean? What could you have done better? But, you know, like I would have been doing it just as hard as I'm doing this right now for sure. for sure.
So where did it go from American Boy Remix? Did you perform that ever at like the high school talent show or the middle school talent show?
Like, let me know, man. You guys know better than me, for real. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I like would, or like even just kick it in school. And like, yeah, we just started like, and people were starting to get interested in it too. So there's just like groups developing of people who are all dropping music, and like it's a performing arts school too. Let me put that out there. When I went to high school, so obviously people are creative, but like even before then, all the sports kids, they all like music. Everyone's rapping, everyone's getting pumped up to the same stuff.
Yeah.
But transitioning to people who are intentionally in the arts, like we quickly started taking that very serious. As soon as it's your friends are listening to what you dropped that night, you're seeing them at school and freaking out about it.
Yeah.
So now you all drop something that night.
Right.
And now you all show the teachers, and it was cool, man. It was a very, again, it was special. It was magical. And like, I'm very fortunate because I probably would have little intricacies that I wouldn't be here right now. I'd just be developing in a different way.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
You had mentioned that it's back when you were just Cam. Were there any other artist names between Cam and formerly Cam?
And let me know it too, because
runner-ups?
I really don't remember, man. I'm like trying not to play. I don't think so. I don't think I ever went for anything else.
Just Cam, and then formerly Cam.
Yeah, that was Cam right out the gate.
How about any that you can remember from 8 or 12 years old in the daydreams?
I think there was a point when I was going to just use my last name because I thought that like sounded cool. But then I was like, no, I need to make a name. Like I have to embody something. Like,
totally.
Yeah. But if I was ever kicking it to someone talk about, I'm going to call myself C-Easy, some other, tell me for real, man. I only know so much, man.
Well, when was the first time on stage that you can recall?
Let's say 14 to be safe. I think it was probably like halfway into my freshman year, or potentially towards the end or something like that. But like I got in a band and I started like working with the musicians at the school, and then we opened up at a little gig like right by the school. And man, like this is my encouragement to artists. Like I was the most terrified dude ever. I literally did not even face the audience. Like literally I was just don't mess up. Just don't mess up.
Guitar,
like,
bass?
Bass.
Nice.
It was terrifying, dude. But more shows, more opportunities start to turn around. You start to see people are having a good time. And you start to give them more energy, and then it turns into something that like you need it. Like I'm like, book me, man. I'm trying to play a show, dude. Like I'm
trying to feel that feeling.
Trying to turn people up, man. Like I'm trying to have us all have a great time right now. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, that's cool. So what, you were in a band at that point? What was the band?
I've been in a couple bands, man. Make sure you guys go check all those out, man. People know what's up, man. I want to entice you and make you guys go look it up. I've been in a few bands, man, and some people know. Okay. Some people don't. Drop the comments. Let them know. We'll check it out when it drops. Let them know what you see me, where you see me, what we've been on, man. Seriously. Yeah, I've been in quite a few bands, and it all came from high school, and that all came from just, like, these kids are cool to do it. Like, this dude's 14 years old, just, like, losing his mind right now. I never even thought I could do something like that. And, like, and sometimes, like, when you're getting older in school, too, it's like these younger kids are coming in, and they're, like, make you look like you've never even done this. Like, are you serious? Like, they clearly came to perform their art.
Exactly. They prepared.
Like, they're clearly here where I was just exploring and finding it. But like, it's beautiful, dude. So yeah, I've been in not a whole bunch of bands. I was in like 3 or 4 bands, and
bass
it was
every
super
time?
fun. Bass every time.
Sick.
Every time.
Who are some of your favorite bassists, if you care to share? Or more, how about even broader? What were some of the first CDs you owned that you just kept on repeat?
So I'm going to have to give credit to 2 people. And again, I'm sensitive to people's privacy. That's really why I just don't know how people feel, because this is just like the real world, and I never know what's going on with anyone. So like, I'll just say that there's 2 people who go by the same name, and one of them was my friend and one of them was my cousin. And my cousin was transitioning out of skateboard, or no, it was out of playing guitar. He was playing guitar, learning how to jam, all this stuff, transitioned out to start skateboarding and started doing photography. And so gave me his guitar, gave me his amp. Whoa. And then my friend at the time transitioned out of skateboarding and was getting into playing guitar. And so by the time I got that guitar from my cousin, he was already like at intermediate, you know, like
wow.
he's learned what he's interested in. He's getting his technique up and stuff. So now I'm sitting here just like jaw on the floor, like, my friend's a legend.
Yeah.
Like, this is like the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then he just started teaching me how to use this guitar. And like, I owe my entire career to those two. You know what I mean? And I try to tell you guys every time I see you, I try to always remind you, I don't take that lightly at all. Like, everyone who's ever influenced me, looked out for me, like, trust me, I did not do this by myself. You know what I'm saying? So that was that moment. That literally is where this all came from, for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
You don't still have that guitar, do you?
No, man. And I'm one of those people, like, I'm the person who regrets selling all their game systems. I'm the person who, like, you know what I mean?
Oofda.
I wish, because that's really... I've been learning that with time. Like, you got to save some stuff. Some of those things are those $1 million items down the line, and that real icebreaker conversation piece. Like, I still got that to this day.
But it feels so good to get rid of stuff. It feels so good to donate stuff. It feels so good to downsize.
And that's what people, that's what my fans really don't like about me, is I delete my music. I'm someone who, like, sometimes I take art a little too seriously, like a little too philosophically. And I feel like when I'm done with the art, and when I feel like that isn't what represents me anymore, which is essentially this Formerly Cam, right? And like, I'll get rid of it. It's not in my archive. It's not coming back. That's gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's really gone. And if you guys remember that, and that's my point, there's people going to be like, I played American Boy every day. I can't believe he deleted that. That's my, like, it's so cool to, because I saw that connection it built. It was like, I can't believe you would get rid of that. So it's like, I want us to just really cherish moments. You know what I mean? Because
it's like Burning Man style. I really respect that, though, where it's just like, we made this, and the reason why this will exist is because it's not going to exist right after this.
And the digital era is now, it's cool, though, too. It's fun, especially if you know how to tolerate and you know how to maneuver around that type of stuff on the internet. Like, people are racing to get it before you delete it. And they screenshot it and screen record it and stuff. And so you can play that game when you're teasing music, and you can play that game when you make a post and it disappears, because people are like, got you, and it's like, no, I got you. I got you talking. Like, it's cool, man.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very observant. We got to take a break in like 30 seconds. Tell everybody where they can follow you on the socials. And
fanlink.to /formerly. It has all my streaming platforms, social media, everything like that. But I'm also, you can Google me, man. Shout out Google, for real. Like, Formerly Cam in the search bar, and it should all pop up at the top.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
It's that easy.
Follow us, DogStar Podcast.
Follow him, Formerly Cam, on Instagram. We'll be right back. And we're back, sitting down with Formerly Cam, going through basically the timeline. I'd say we're well on our way.
Yeah, for sure. I think,
and it sounds like the stuff that we didn't have in your musical history is just gone forever.
Yeah, I actually, funny thing too is there was like external hard drives I had at the time that had certain content, and like I totally thought I broke them. I would always they'd always fall and like fall out the port, and so it'd mess up when you try to plug it back in. And you know who you are too. Really did some extraterrestrial stuff like we were talking about, and got some stuff back from the past. And like, it was like really, and those weren't things I deleted, you know, those were things I lost. So I was like, that was a big L too for everyone. But getting some of that stuff back, it even has ignited, you know, you are too, has ignited some people to get right back into it. So that was something really wild. But other than that, yeah, there's stuff that's, we can't get it back, man.
Gone like a moment of time.
Like, literally, man. But we have fun, man. You guys love it still. They can still hear it, you know? That's super cool. That's how powerful music is.
Yeah.
For real.
When was the first time you took the rap on stage?
It was probably like 1 or 2 years after that, because like, and all the bands I were into were always very encouraging of me wanting to do, like, it was never like controlling or possessive, like, you have to do this, it's only the band. It was never nothing like that at all.
Huge.
Like,
that's huge.
Every band I've worked with, every promoter, it's never been any of that. Like, I've had like some of the best experiences in the scene, for real, man. And I've learned so much from this scene. It's not about anywhere else in the world, country, nothing. Like, Minneapolis really has some stuff going on, man, and some people who can really do some stuff here. So, but Yeah, sorry. What was your question? Sorry, I got so lost.
When did you take the rapping?
Yeah, that was
to
like,
the stage?
like
was
2
it
years after that. Probably.
Same venue you were playing at with these bands?
Probably, yeah. It was probably 1 or 2 of those. It was probably like, because again, like my bands were encouraging of that, and they wanted me to get into it, and that's a whole nother level of fear being on stage by yourself now, or just a DJ. Sometimes you don't know that DJ, like a lot of circumstances, and yeah, that was super fun, man. That really ignited something.
I wanted to ask you about, this mysterious place where sometimes music comes from, especially when you're jamming in a group of people with different instruments.
Oh, and I got a cool story.
It comes from seemingly nowhere. Can you relate to this at all?
100%. And a really cool story is there was a band I was in, they were brothers, right? And it was literally telekinetic musical communication. Like, deeper to the point that like they knew the rhythms. It's not even just like I get the vibe he's going for. Like they would catch themselves thinking the same concept. So they're already, it's beyond songwriting.
That's
like,
scary.
It's the type of thing you might as well just like set up mics and like just let them jam, and that end up being a record anyway. And then you chop that up into songs. Like I've seen really cool ways that music connects people that maybe sitting in a room and chopping it up wouldn't do, but put them on the keys, put them on the drums, and they've been best friends for decades.
That universal language you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, man.
That's so powerful. Do you get that same feeling sometimes when you're writing lyrics?
Oh,
that it kind of just flows through you?
For sure. And I think a really cool thing that we start to understand when you unpack later in life is like your influences were really obvious, not even in a bad way, but they were so prominent and so important to you developing. And a lot of people can point that out when they're invested in you, and it's like they just already know what you listen to and they know what you're into. And again, it shows you like sometimes you don't even need to say nothing. Like it's just that vibe. It's like, I'm sure they do this, they like that, they've been here. For sure.
You can tell a lot for sure.
For sure, man. Yes.
When you were rapping first on the stage, was it with any of these bands backing you, or was it just the instrumental?
I might have actually done that 1 or 2 times. And then again, I always had like peers in the music scene. They're like, if you ever want me to drum with you, and we're going to get to it, man, for sure. I just got to figure out the content for it and like the opportunity. But yeah, even seeing how some of the greats have used bands and how they've incorporated live, I don't even want to say instrumentation because it's bigger than that. Like changes music, it. Like it's not that record no more. Like this is a very special moment, and that's why they don't want them phones up, man. Like feel this, and then go listen to that record and see how I just flipped that whole. It's not even the same song, man. You just got something really important.
You're making me miss live music when an artist will deviate a little bit, at least in the solo.
I mean, teach their own. I mean, sometimes I want to hear it exactly like I know the words to the song. Like, do it exactly. Do it exactly.
Sometimes I don't like the live stuff, and like that's me being 100%. Sometimes like all that band stuff totally takes away from that record or that person's performance because they don't have to lock in the same way anymore. Now we can jump around, and now we can.
That's the difference between loving a song and loving the artist who made the song. Because if you love the artist, you're down to see him do whatever on stage. It doesn't really matter.
Right. For sure.
But if you want to hear the song, it's like, better come with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like for real.
I don't want to assume that the first time on stage with the hip hop came before the first track release, because as we know, it was American Boy. Did you perform that on stage, or was it a different rap song?
Yeah. I definitely did that on stage. I am trying to think about that timeline. I'm trying to think if I really was putting out like original music, because like there was an era when I got into the beat making, like rapping was totally different. You're pulling up beats and just able to write, but I'm sure I had somewhat of a discography if I was playing shows at that time. So, and unfortunately, since I deleted it, I don't know what.
No worries.
Not stuck in the past, though.
Drop it in the comments, man. I'm gonna try to send this out to some people who really are part of my past, and they might have some of those,
or some
those
footage
gems.
Even,
So, because like I'll talk to people and they'll say something, I'm like, wow, oh, watch this, you guys, some Nardwuar stuff right here. You ready? I've known about you guys for quite a while. Like I used to be around when you guys were at Honey doing the DJ stuff and the rapping stuff. Like I was affiliated with people who I was just trying to learn. And so I was always out in the corner and just like watching. I wasn't like trying to be all introductory with everyone, but like I've known about you guys for quite a while. So for you to reach out, for me, is just like a different type of thing, because it was like, I've been waiting, and there's a lot of people too, and there's people who even like connected with me online that I've been waiting for the real life opportunity compared to how I would portray myself over a DM or something like that. So it's cool to know that I've been seeing you guys from a distance for a while, and now we're literally right here.
Boom.
It's cool, man.
That is
and I appreciate it, seriously. Like, it means the world.
I mean, we can't thank you enough, not only for that, and can't thank you enough for, again, taking the time out to not just shoot the breeze, but to find out which direction that breeze is coming from.
Exactly. And it's going straight to the south side. You know that. Come on now.
Nice.
After you?
Oh, I don't know. I was going to get into what fans can listen to on Spotify right now. Let's start with that beat tape. So, like, when did you start making beats?
That probably had to be same little era, like 13, 14. Because there's just these things where certain things were what I was just working on. Yeah. Things I'm showing people, things I am putting out. So I can never put a real pin on it, but it just had to be that.
Yeah, once 14. You find GarageBand, it's like, this
seriously,
is game
like
over.
GarageBand, and GarageBand has improved a lot too. Like, there's just some sounds on there. I'm like, yo, like, these kids can make some records on here. Like, like Steve Lacy, all these people are already proving that, obviously, but I think they do a little bit more intricate, because I think he's playing through the app, like instruments, but virtually you can still compose, and man,
that's nice
for real. Like, go crazy. Whatever it is, like, seriously, any venture, do it. It don't matter what they're going to say. They all got something to say. Trust me. But when you start doing it, they're going to be like, they're pretty good. They're going to start pushing you, and they're going to keep that connection real, and they'll be behind you.
Because would you say the people you were surrounding yourself with artistically at the time were doing more of the rapping or the instrument playing versus the beat making? Were you...
And that's the beautiful part. And there's like different pools and groups of people you get to go to. There's the guys who are just more like jazz musicians, and they're going and creating genres. You guys know what I'm talking about. Gypsy jazz, all that stuff. And then you got the kids who are just making beats, and they are just like the producers who just are talking about Dilla and just talking about Fly Low and like really in that zone. There's the beat on the table kids who aren't writing rappers, but they're battle rapper, joke rap, and freestyle. So many cultures involved with music. And so I just got to jump into pools when I saw fit again off the Renaissance Man concept. It was like, I think I can do that. And I'm not going to like I don't know, but I'm going to at least try before I get discouraged and then stop trying.
Not scared to get discouraged.
Yeah, basically. Like, learn to fail.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, it's not going to be an overnight success.
Not at all.
So were you rapping to your own beats already when you released the beat tape of
For
all
sure.
the beats? Okay, cool. And then since that beat tape, has it been all on your beats, or do you still find beats to rap to? It's all you...
Well, technically, like, I collaborate with all the boys. You guys know who you are. I'm always trying to work with people. I'm actually trying to get to a point, because sometimes being a producer, because I try to produce for other people too, like... You have your own discography, you have other people's discography, and then you have the fun collaborations and the things that someone sent you that email and they're just waiting for some beats. There's so many situations you get lost in trying to pursue the career. And so like, there's definitely so much stuff going on, and like, there's definitely so many things I got to work on and stuff. But I've been making beats, rapping on it for a while, and I'd love to get beats. I'd love to get collaborations going. It just turns into time. We're all musicians, man. We're all this is business. This is real life. So
what would be your ideal time frame from when you drop a beat tape to an artist finishing a song and like signing the split sheet with you?
I don't really have a time frame, because there's even like stuff with my discography. I had an original rollout, I guess I had, and just because of like travel things, we just couldn't get there on time, or like, we're not paying that plane ticket, you know.
Just for like a tour, or
no, just meeting up, getting content, and like,
gotcha.
I was trying to take the visual content that serious that I'm willing to travel, and if we're not able to meet up halfway, or if you can't come here, I'm trying to go and experience your culture, and I'm trying to go, and so there's just some campaigns that we didn't meet the timeline for it. And so what I'm trying to do right now, like literally with the current discography, is we're flipping it backwards. And I inserted these 2 recent projects, Don't Want to Be Here Anymore, which is out now. Check it out. And Run Me Them Racks, which is out now. 100% clean too. So make sure you request that to every radio station you can, for real. And so I put those in the mix. We're doing the campaign backwards, basically. And I'm hoping, if it's not by the end of this year, realistically by the end and or the start of, like, let's say the start of 25, there'd be a very cool, very dense, visual, conceptual project that I've been trying to get out, for real.
Yeah, that was definitely something we noticed doing the research, is you were doing more and more visual accompaniments with these songs. What got you inspired to do that? It was like
it's all my people, man. Everyone who looks out for me and everyone who gives me the advice. Some people need to see you, man. Some people need that on Apple Music. Some people don't know what YouTube is. There's so many people that are responsible for me being here, and like I always have to give that credit. So it's just people always looking out. Like, you're a good dude, but you're on SoundCloud. Like,
where's the video? Where's the...
So it just came straight from the boys, man. They've always taken care of me. They've always tried to make sure I'm being on point, so...
I love that. Have you, do you write any of the music video stuff yourselves, or any of the visual? It sounds like this large project coming up. It's been a long time coming. So it sounds like you have a big creative role, not only in the music, but the visuals.
Yeah, and it's, to your point, that's something that it's okay to wait on. I'm totally okay with that taking. I don't care if that takes a couple years. It's going to be timeless. It's going to last forever. So, yeah, I'm just trying to... I feel like I owe the people for my absence, because I'm just not an electronic person, dude. Like, I'm a real life human being. I'm in this real world. I'm really outside. I'm really doing this stuff. And like, I just always had a hard time keeping up with that rapport, with that image, with that idea of what we're supposed to be doing here. And luckily, I'm just growing naturally, and I'm understanding, and I'm like, cool, man, I appreciate all these looks and all this advice, because now I get where we're supposed to go right now. And I feel like I just owe people consistency. So I'm just going a little nuts right now with the releases and keeping up with videos and keeping up with stuff that's coming, that I'm just trying to experiment and see where I can be different and not just another person in another whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it sounds like you're, like you were saying, timeless, but it sounds like you're kind of like outside of time in a lot of the way you think about stuff, where it's like
ahead of time.
This stuff is, now gone forever. That did exist.
I was trying to be cute with like a little teaser that maybe kind of sound bad, so I apologize.
You'll figure it out eventually.
It's not an ego thing.
But yeah, like your old projects don't exist, so that's kind of like messing with the way history works.
Right.
And then stony baloney, but I was going somewhere with that. Outside of time rather than timeless. And then, working backwards through the thing, because it's like when you hear an artist for the first time, that's kind of how you listen to their stuff. Is like you hear their thing, and then it's like, what else did they do? And you look back, and then I hate to remember what you said earlier, but it's like once you get back to the beginning, man, it sounds like it's all going to be gone again. So it's like,
and it might be.
It's so dramatic.
I just want us to all have fun, man, and I just really want to be outside and be with the people and be in the community, and I'm trying to really incorporate this art to a level that people just didn't expect me to be prepared for, even thinking about,
How did the teaming up with the Flowermouthe collective take you to that next level?
Yeah, man. So Flowermouthe, for me, it was just a way to keep my people around. And so that was like around the end of high school. We all understood that we definitely wanted to make this a profession and a career. And so, and for me personally too, going back to the athlete, like all I know is teamwork. It's hardwired. You know what I'm saying? You can be the best person on the court, but put 5 people against you and see how good you are. You know what I'm saying? And so like I had to always have a collective. I need to have someone. I know you're not always going to like my vibe. That's why Brody sings. That's why he can do a backflip. That's why we got designers in this. That's why we got people trying to make movies. You can totally not like what I'm doing. I'm not here to be the center of attention. I'm here to be on the team, and I'm here to grow what we're doing, because I just don't want to be I don't want to be here anymore. That whole phrase, that's what that project is. I don't want to be in certain situations that you end up in when you don't have a team. You know what I mean? And when you feel like you don't have, even on a sports thing, a game plan or whatever. So I'm always trying to make sure that there's people around me, even if we're not thinking alike, that I just know that they care and they care about their life and they care about their future. And if they're into selling pens and if they're into lawn mowing and if they're into volleyball, I'm trying to really take that as serious as possible.
Yeah,
and let's make sure we can, and leave a mark on the planet for real.
That's huge.
Yeah, man. So Flowermouthe is just the embodiment of that. Flowermouthe, you know, like you got to speak that beauty. I apologize.
No, you're good.
You got to speak that. You got to live that. You got to do that. And so if you want to see this beautiful, you want to see your life change, you want to see these flowers, like, let's go. Like, say it, do it, be about it. Take these opportunities seriously. You know what I mean? And that's why, again, I thank you guys like a lot, because this can really get me just a step closer with people who are already interested, and this can get
that's the goal, baby.
A whole combo started. So
we're sitting down with formerly Cam here on DogStar, a true polymath, and we'll be right back here on DogStar.
Bow wow, we're back.
Sitting down with formerly Cam, and you're mentioning these most two recent releases, Run Me Them Racks, and Don't Want to Be Here Anymore.
Yep, and the Run Me Them Racks is technically the most recent.
Yes.
And then Don't Want to Be Here is, to my point when I said I kind of felt like I owe people some consistency. Instead of being devastated with the campaign not working out, let's pull the audible. And so that was my audible for the people. And now we're not even on a roll. It's only been 2 projects, but
didn't even miss a step though. So
but
it was just like,
and I appreciate
like
that,
nothing.
Man. And just know something's coming, man.
And that dropped December of 2022. Rewind back to the conception again of Don't Want to Be Here Anymore.
Yeah, and that's something that I've been having a lot of fun with everybody. Like, I've been getting a lot of great feedback and a lot of great questions. And like, that phrase was a macro concept for me. It's like, that can mean so much. I don't want to be in this financial situation. I don't want to work at this job. I don't want to be in this fight with this person I care about. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, what do I need to do? What do I need to show? And like, that's what W is all about too, is like, how do I show I don't want to lose this opportunity? How do I show that I feel like I deserve to be here? So yeah, that term was just something, since I've been gone, let me come back and do something we can all kind of talk about, and all like, what does that mean? And I'm like, what does that mean to you? What are these letters? Like, what do these letters mean to you? Like, let's have a conversation, because I have some fun stuff coming up, and let's just start talking before you start feeling overwhelmed. Like, all right, man, you're dropping a lot. You're doing a lot. You hear what I'm saying?
And you're saying you were gone. What was that? Was that just the heartbreak from a previous project, or why was there the break?
It was just, and that's just like the pandemic, the protests, you know, like life got super real, and life's always been real, like, but it's just like the entire planet reacted to that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole in your own lifetime thing. There's people who, our elders, thought they were going to experience something that, you know, obviously we didn't experience it, but like, think about people who experienced some pretty crazy things in their life, and they also were around for this situation too. And this is going to be pretty big for us moving forward with our children and stuff. And so life was real. It got real. And I just wanted to continue to be real, because this is my opportunity when I'm on wax and when I'm on cameras, when I got to really make sure I'm putting me out there, or else I'm going to be so disappointed looking back at who I was trying to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Literally.
That sounds like it was pretty therapeutic for you to return to the booth,
and like, if cathartic is the word,
definitely.
But I don't know. But it was like,
Very nice.
That's huge.
And then let's talk specifically about G.
Yeah.
Because that's the track you brought. Tell us all about that song. You make the beat for that song?
Yep.
Have the beat before you had the lyrics for that song?
I actually might have. Technically, anything that's released with Formerly Cam is always like my production, my mixing, all that stuff. And then I try to give my respect to the boys by collaborating on their stuff, so they have control of me and their stuff.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I get you.
Instead of them having to fit my vibe, make my beats, make my style, I'm like, just pull me into your world and let's go crazy in your world. So you don't gotta bend to my will. You know what I mean? So And the cool thing about G is like that was me trying to introduce Cam to formerly Cam fans and to new people, because everyone who knows dropped that comment. Like that was my vibe. I was a boom bap backpack Minneapolis street rapper. Like that is like all I'm about. That's like all my entire foundation and root. And just because you're hearing trap music and just because you're hearing singing and me experimenting with what I'm just observing in my own culture, I'm still Cam. That's why it's formerly Cam. It's not formerly the artist. Blah, blah, blah. Like it's not this whole new thing. It's just now there's a new concept, and again, it's reality. And I'm trying to get real, and so
I like that.
It's a real way to bring people back. So yeah, love that record. Clean, 100% clean.
Is that how the writing process typically goes? You'll have the pool of beats that you've saved for yourself that you'll write lyrics to after that? Or
with a project specifically, it is all in the moment. Like I'm making those beats, recording all that real time.
I love that.
So like, and like a cool thing about Don't Want to Be Here Anymore is it was going to be a lot more condensed, and it was going to be a lot more specific. Like if it was going to be 4 or 5 songs, right?
Okay.
And maybe those letters would make a little bit more sense too. Who's to say? But once I got into that groove, because I'm coming back, right? And I'm like, all right, I can make another song though. All right, I can make another song. Oh, this looked like an album. Let's make an album. Right. And so that's how it usually starts. I'm just looking through the beats, and I'm not wanting to record on them or whatever. So I'll start making beats, and then I'll be like, I want to record on this though. And now, I hit a groove. Like, I think again, some stuff I have coming out, you're really gonna see. I think you're gonna be able to feel my process. I think you're gonna see it's like I lock into these moments in time. Sometimes it's a day, 2 weeks, couple months. Who's to say again? But like you'll be able to feel it. It's like I was never like, this is just a song he put in here. Like it was all a part of the timeline.
That's awesome. I'm excited. Definitely.
Appreciate it, man.
And then not to go macro to go micro again, but all the track names are just one letter.
All 10 tracks.
What up?
And that's what I really want you guys to go and just listen and just really hear if you're hearing that letter, or if there's something that may pop up involving that letter associated. Like there's stuff that it definitely means to me. There's stuff that I definitely could explain about it, but it's been super fun seeing people who are on the same level, on a way higher level, on a more professional level, more financially. Like it's cool seeing so many people interpret this so many different ways. And it really shows me that this is a collective thing. This is, if I'm not putting out good music, you're not listening.
Right.
And if I'm not posting, you're not following. And I just got to commit, and I just got to show people like I take this so seriously. And it's not that I live and die by an opinion, but I'm like, might not do it. I might not care about it right now, but I've had so many really cool instances where because I listened to that moment or kept that beat, whatever that is, I was like, lesson learned. Very cool, man. Like very cool to just be persistent and to follow intuition.
Yeah, you were talking before the show. This is all kind of meant to be.
Man, for real, man. I just don't think it's random at all.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no point, but who's to say what's really going on though?
I mean, it's good to hear that there is a point to the lettering system,
for sure.
Because like you don't have to tell us what it is, but as long as it does mean something, and it's not just like, the 5th beat I made was So as long as it means something, I like it.
It's kind of a little bit about my process too, because sometimes I will get lucky and I'll be on fire and I'll make beats like, and so sometimes when I'm trying to save, sometimes I'll have a simplified concept just so it's easy to save, and like it's not as true to what I'm saying right now, but I know it's a habit built from. Sorry again.
No worries.
But like for instance, I have like 30 beats that are just called like CMFB1, CMFB2, because I was just like boom, boom, boom. Like there was no time to stop. So I can't sit here and be like, what does this make me feel like? It's like time to make bossa nova.
Right.
Boom, save it. Let's go. There's just a little bit of habit in there. But again, I made sure to make it intentional. All my music is intentional. All my music is art, man. It's all interpretable, and nothing is fact, nothing is fiction, nothing is here, nothing is there. You know what I mean?
True art.
Nice. How do you think the project I Don't Want to Be Here Anymore contrasts to Run Me Them Racks?
Run Me Them Racks, I was just trying to have fun. I was just trying to turn up for the youth. I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see people get sturdy on TikTok. If we got to be on TikTok, if that's the platform, here's something to rock to. Here's something that I think you can get into. And then you might go and listen to some stuff and be like, this guy's deep. Like, he's not just like BSing. He's not just talking about the same stuff. Like, or even like, whoa, he's too deep. I'm not into that. It's like a little dark for me. It's like, I don't feel those feelings, blah, blah, blah. But I'm aware and I'm self-aware, and I'm not trying to, again, I'm not here to control the situation. I'm here to contribute to the party. So I got trap. I got 808s. I can sing. I can dance. I'm going to try to do a backflip. You know what I mean? Like, I'll try to do a backflip. I'll ball anybody up. I'll go crazy. You know what I mean? But I'm here for everyone, though. I'm hearing. I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I'm not just like, whatever. I'm doing what I want. It's only to a degree.
But I'm sure, as you said, cathartic in a different way.
Yeah, man.
You know, maybe not the initial release after personal and social unrest, but a different kind of
it's like stepping back into the community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I've physically have been outside and been contributing to stuff, but like sonically, I have friends who are waiting for this and have the notifications turned on somewhere across the world that they couldn't attend these shows. They couldn't attend these situations. So I got to drop projects, man. And they got to be able to jam out and know that I'm still here and I'm still dropping. And
definitely.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
man.
love it.
Was there any other like noticeable life changes between those two projects? Like, did you start a new job or?
Yeah, man. The pandemic has just been, eating it all alive, man. Like, just seeing how our world's changed. Like, this inflation is real life. Full. Like, I can't even believe. And it's really cool. It's a good lesson to, I guess, people who are into the digital era, like, take pictures, man, and document stuff. And you'll see 10 years ago,
the change.
And Apple was $2. It's $15. What are you talking about? Like, I've been seeing life. I'm just an adult now, so I'm able to unpack a lot more serious concepts or just things I wasn't able to tap into because I had a more whatever mindset back then. So I'm just, the world's hidden every day. And I'm like, man, so I got to do something. I got to make an impact somehow.
Yeah, I really like the Run Me Them Racks project. It's very fun, very...
and clean, 100% clean. 100% clean. Send that into the radio, man.
Play that for your grandma.
Play that for your grandma. She might get sturdy.
Or like, any family events. You know,
for real,
you can
though.
play it.
Yeah, man.
And don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
That's awesome. We had school dance DJs.
Yeah, for real, man. I'm telling
playing
people,
that at
man.
prom, exactly.
When you know DJs, when you know what's going on, man, just send it in, dude. Let's go crazy.
We have a lesson in growth, which is the 4th track off of Run Me Them Racks. Tell us about what was going on during the writing, during that moment that you captured that first idea, then when you were making that song.
Yeah, and that's like a great example of like me trying to adapt to the culture of like punching in, right? Like I was definitely a write it down on paper and record. We turn into write it on your phone and record.
Yeah.
And now people are punching in, and like it's cool for me because it confirms all those things about like Jay-Z and Wayne. Like they definitely just go in there, someone plays the beat, they hear it one time and then they're out because they're so experienced. Do they live this? And so punching in shows me it's like, again, just tap into your real life. And it's not that hard to rhyme some stuff because you already have the direction you're going. So now use your creativity as an artist and explain your real life in a rhyming, punctual, whatever way. You know what I'm saying? So,
any advice for people who are just about to make the transition from having it all in their heads or all in their...
Just showing their friends at night, but not putting it out anyway.
Yeah, any advice to those soon to be up and comers?
It's always literally going to be a paradox. Like it's like don't take it seriously, but put your heart into it and like show everyone. And not everyone is going to get it. So there's also people who it's not even to avoid, but just know that they're not going to like it, but still show them. Like it's sometimes people would just respect that you never stop. Some people just respect that you're doing something because they'll know someone else who's like, I wish they just do something. Like, I don't like what you're doing, but you're not doing
nothing.
What we both know could be going on here. So it's just stuff like that, man. Like, always value all information is information. like truly at the end of the day. So if you care enough, if you have practice, patience, and passion, you can develop any skill that you've ever heard about. And that's what's going to always be the I don't know the word, the equalizer or something like that. Something like that. If you have those, you'll be the best at what you do because you always had those pillars and you understood that someone's not going to like it, someone's not going to get it. Your closest friend, there's no rules to this. So if you're willing to play the game and you got those threes, if you're really pushing P,
the 3 Ps.
Yeah. But real P's, man. We're not pushing that other. You know?
Right.
Well, we only have about a minute or so left. What's on the horizon that you can reveal?
We got Sinfest coming February 24th. Shout out to Matt Fisher for putting on one of the craziest stag bills at the top of the year. Like, top of the year already is doing something like that can change the whole scene. So make sure you guys check that out.
February 24th. That's today.
Yep, exact. Thank you, because I was trying to remember, because if this is airing today, it's going to be today, and tickets are at the door too, so it's no pre-sale or nothing. It's the perfect opportunity.
Just go right now.
Exactly. You have
you
literally got a couple hours right now to get dressed, get all situated. Tickets are at the door, and we're gonna pack it out, man. And it's gonna be one of the best shows of the year at the top of the year.
Where's that at?
It's going to be at Can Wonderland.
Oh, baby.
Main stage, backstage?
Main stage. I'm telling you, it's real life, people. So make sure you pop out, man. Shout out to Sin Incorporated for real, man. Let's go, man.
We can't thank you enough for coming through and giving us a peek into the many-hatted head.
We made history, man.
Yes.
Man,
we look forward to seeing what's in store next. And,
we'll have to have you back in for like a whole nother episode just on like collaboration and stuff.
Dude, I'd love to, man. All the boys, man. That's why I wasn't trying to put names out there. It's the worst feeling in the world to miss someone who is so important to you. And it's not on nothing other than you got your mind racing and you want to name everybody. So boys, the ladies, there's so many women who really put me in position in this scene and really put me in a position to be seen by people. There's the youth who really inspire me, man. Like, there's so many people who are the reason I'm here, and like, I owe it all to you. And I have so much coming because of that, for real. So
we'll keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate you guys, man. Southside for life, real life Southside, or real life Minneapolis. My bad. I just headbutted the microphone to show you how real this is, man.
It's getting real. Thank you again for your time. This is DogStar.
We'll see you next time.
Like targets, they living like roadies. I am not bargaining, but that's on the OGs. He did not get far, and that's the lesson he for sure keeping. I am not wrong, and that's the knowledge I for sure needed. I look up to a God, cause I am small and not as holy. I couldn't write their bars because they phony. I never could get locked up in a hole because my homies. I never wanted anyone to know me. So I can boom the scene. I'm the last all-star left. Let me do my thing. Let me hit my dance. Let me hit a bar. It's an all-star.